Hello and welcome back to another episode of Spin the Rock, season 3 officially. It's been a long time, but life changes has kept us away. I mean, this is the first time in probably 4 episodes all three of us have been together too.
Right.
It's been
It's
a
been a
fat
minute.
minute. Um, so we have some news and of course our main topic. I also have a surprise for y'all that I didn't even mention, but before we get to that, like I said, this is season 3 of Spin the Rock, which means last week was our 2-year anniversary, bro. We're not doing a whole birthday episode again just because, that was last week. But I just wanted to say, like, it's honestly, I did not expect to make it 2 years, bro. And it's honestly been so fun. Like, basketball has been so much more fun since we started this podcast. How y'all feel about making 2 years?
I agree. You know, obviously we were all in tune to a level
Mm-hmm.
with NBA basketball and even college basketball too. But doing this podcast makes it so where like we have to stay in tune. You know what I mean? We have to keep up with basketball. So it's pretty fun. I've had a good time and ready for season 3.
Yeah, like you kind of hit all the points. I think one thing about being here is it's kind of made me more accountable for following hoops rather than just being a casual thing. And in many ways, it's been a lot more fun to just be more engaged in not just players, but like just different aspects of the game. It's just fun to at least bring topics or stir up the conversation just surrounding hoops. So yeah, like thank y'all. It's been
Yeah.
fun.
All right. Now into some news. Um, let's see. I think this one was first for sure. Kawhi Leonard started some big drama, pulled out of USA Olympics. How do y'all feel about this? How do you feel about the discourse around it and how we really don't know why or who made the decision?
It's just so silly. Like he knew day one he probably wasn't like actually stepping on a court. It's because like the reasons given are all kind of like cloudy, but basically it's like him and multiple people are saying like for his health it's probably better if he doesn't. But he knew that well before even putting on that jersey. Like it was probably well and decided months in advance that he was probably going to bow out. But you know, as a Celtics fan, I could see Derek White play more basketball. So I guess that was cool
True.
for me.
The king of load management. I I like I was really hoping, team, being on Team USA would like do something for him, but clearly it did not. um I mean, I hope, he stays healthy through summer, try and gets his body health up or whatever for the upcoming season because he's gonna need it. Potentially without Russ and without Paul George now.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's the Clippers is him. Like it's him and him only.
Yeah.
Um, so, I mean, hopefully things work out for him. It's really not much to say though, Can't really say I'm surprised.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like kind of doing this and just to be injured in time for playoffs next season. So it don't really matter, I don't think.
It's it's kind of insane too. Like Vaughn said, there's no way he like was sitting there just randomly like, maybe I won't play after all. Like, it really does feel like he just wanted an excuse to hoop with some of his friends and then was like, all right, I got my practice in. Like, I'm good. Like, I don't want to actually play any games. Because, like, there's like one thing I was saying before this is that like the president or whoever of like Olympic basketball was saying like they made the decision. And it's like, if you made the decision, why did you bring him any like in the first place? That's why I honestly think it was his decision, and like the Clippers and everyone else is just kind of like hiding the fact that like he like was just like I'm good
Mhm.
because but like Vaughn said, you don't just decide like months after being selected that you don't want to play it. Like you like it. That's not how it works. That's a decision that you would have made like way before you even got your photo taken with the whole team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I will say though, in my personal opinion, I've heard otherwise. I think Derek White is a good and arguably, I'm not gonna say he's better than Kawhi, but like in terms of the team fit, I think that's like the most perfect person you could have picked to replace Kawhi. You know, he can play just as good as defense. He could probably shoot the three a little better. You know, space the floor fine. So I think, you know, assuming what system Steve Kerr and them put together, I think Derek White will probably be, you know, a Kawhi 2.0 essentially. So I think it's a good fit.
No, I agree. I think Derek White is him or Jaylen Brown. It was gonna be a Celtic for sure. Like it was gonna be one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like
Yeah.
I feel like it was a good replacement for sure.
Like people were mad at Jaylen, or people were mad that Jaylen Brown didn't get picked. Me personally, I don't care one way or another. But I think, you know, whoever makes those decisions was kind of thinking who is a good replacement for Kawhi. And I don't think Jaylen Brown necessarily fits that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Derek White is a better fit, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
We'll see
maybe
in like 2 weeks or a week.
Yeah, like they could have factored in that like he's not really a guy who demands the ball to do anything. He could have the ball for none of the game, and he would probably still be a positive effect on the team.
Mm-hmm.
I think the one crazy part is that Jaylen Brown not getting selected is he was on the last Olympics team, and just to not like ask him back was probably a big issue. Not even taking into the fact that he was Finals MVP in the NBA and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
he's definitely a better player now than he was then.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Eugene probably is on the right track with the whole Vaughn is on the right track with the whole like doesn't need the ball. Because Jaylen Brown, if he gets picked on that team, that's like another guy you got like you have to like use, you know? He's a scorer and a defender. Like I don't think he'll be useful to you if he doesn't have the ball or
Mm-hmm.
doesn't get like shots up. That's like his big role, right? Like as of right now, that's like his thing. It's like scoring when Jason Tatum can't. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, you know, gold is expected, but it's happened before, and I have no faith in Kerr, bro. I have no faith in Steve Kerr.
I don't think it's the coach, bro. I think it's the players, bro. We all know LeBron coaching the team, bro.
True. All right, next up, I want to talk about this first because I think we'll talk about it way less than the other thing, which is Russ is no longer a Clipper. He is expected to be bought out of his contract after he got traded to the Jazz and is expected to join the Nuggets. What do you guys feel about this rumor? Do you think it'll happen, or are you like kind of just like waiting for the confirmation?
To the Nuggets, I don't know. But we've seen this happen before. Russ was on the Thunder. PG came to the Thunder. Literally left the season after. Russ did his thing for a couple seasons. Nothing worked out. He ended up leaving. PG went to the Clippers. Russ went to the Clippers. PG left the Clippers. Russ is, the pattern continues. History repeats itself.
Yeah.
So Russ will probably, like the rumor will probably not be a rumor. It'll probably happen at some point. He'll get bought out. Will he go to the Nuggets? I don't know, because I think he is at this point in his career where he will know his role, but I don't know. That's two all-star guards, on the same team. one is gonna have to come off the bench, and we know it's not gonna be Jamal Murray. So
Oh, it's for sure gonna be Russ. For sure gonna be Russ.
I don't know about the Nuggets. I don't know how I feel about that, but I mean, if y'all have the cap, I don't see why not.
Oh, we for sure have the cap. Like, let's be honest. When was the last time we signed a player, bro?
It's probably like a minimal deal too. Like it's not like you're giving him a crazy max or something. It's like
Mhm.
Westbrook on the Clippers had a minimum contract, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Denver though, like okay, it would be nice to have a backup point guard. The last one was Reggie Jackson, and the last one before that was Campazzo. Both kind of iffy. But Westbrook is, you know his strengths. They could play around that. But they got, I think, more important needs. We brought up the center issue over again, but also they lost KCP. So do they really want Christian Brown being the starting shooting guard? Like, if you could have upgraded or found a replacement, that would have been nice. But the move for Westbrook is just such a head scratcher. Also, a head scratcher with the Clippers just getting rid of him.
Right, in
Like,
general. Especially
yeah, I
after the
think,
season he had last season. Like that was his
yeah,
best season on that team and probably in a while.
right. Because like even Lakers Westbrook might have had a little bit more stats on the paper, but like in certain ways he was hurting the team. He wasn't utilized the right way. On the
Mhm.
Clippers, he seemed just fine.
Mhm.
And then now they're replacing him with second rounders, and I think it was Chris Dunn. That's who they traded them to the Jazz for. He's not really. He's not going to give you what Russ gives you. So I'm all for Clippers making themselves worse. I hate them after I predicted them to go to the finals 2 years ago. So they can go ahead and do this. But I hope Westbrook, if he does make it to the Nuggets, I think he'll flourish in his role, especially now that he knows what he wants to do at this point in his career on the court,
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah, I only like the move because it's Westbrook. Like that's the only reason why I'm not like mad at it, because like he's actually like I like him as a player. Other than that, I don't really see this being like ooh, like like maybe if this was like before he went to the Clippers, or the like if this was Russ before he went to the Lakers, I would low key be way more hype. But this is Russ after Lakers Clippers. Like he's a different player. He literally is a bench guy now. Like that is his role. That was his role on the Clippers, was be like the sixth man.
Mhm.
And I feel like on the Nuggets, our problem isn't necessarily like I feel like a big problem is our bench doesn't get used most of the time. So like having a good six man might be good, but I'm still thinking like, yeah, it might be good, but will we actually use him? You know what I mean? Because
Right.
like we could pick up six man of the year like right now, but it's like, will he be actually utilized? Because the Nuggets really don't rely on their bench at all,
Mhm.
and
And
like
on
not
top
only
of that, like health too.
health as well. And then another thing is like we signed Darius Sargic, whatever.
Saric, yeah.
Yeah, Sargic, and it's like we're like I feel like we're just picking up the like people who don't want, like other teams don't want,
Mhm.
instead of actually like doing something that can help us get a second ring. Like we're really coasting on Jokic right now, bro. Like the Nuggets are really coasting on him alone.
They're probably looking at like the championship run and looking at the role play. Like who do you have? Jeff Green was a big
Yeah.
part of the rotation off the bench, and I
Mhm.
could see Westbrook playing a similar role to a Jeff Green. Like go
Yeah.
out there, play hard. Jokic will get you easy layups, dunks, and stuff, and then defend hard. So I could see that happening. Plus, he's a vet, which Malone apparently really loves using over any prospect, no matter how touted will ever be. So I expect him to be a big part, but maybe like Westbrook's shooting is so awful, they just don't see him using them.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited because of Westbrook, and like I just like him, but like it's also like Eugene said, it's a rumor. 9 times out of 10 these rumors do become true, but there's always that 10% that like, oh, he's actually going to don't know.
Right.
Yes, I don't know. Like, oh, he's going to Golden State. Like, I don't know. Because that's what happened with Klay Thompson. Everyone thought he was joining the Lakers, and then he joined the Mavs out of nowhere.
Hmm.
And like, not out of nowhere, but like it was either Lakers or Magic. That was like what everyone was saying.
Hmm.
And then he joined the Mavs, and it's like, I mean, it was rumored, but like no one really bought into it. So I feel like it could happen for us too, honestly. All right, another piece of news from Eugene.
Yeah, I totally forgot. Patrick Beverly is no longer an NBA player.
Oh,
He's hoop. Let me see. He's
It's,
hooping in Europe now, though.
it's Israel, I'm pretty sure. Because
Let me see.
I don't know if I should make this joke on the pod. I'll probably cut this out. But he said everyone was saying that he's gonna rebuild Gaza with all the bricks he's gonna be shooting.
That's crazy.
It's so insane.
Let me see. I'm trying to find it. I don't remember when he made this tweet.
I know he was talking about like Israel is offering him like a crazy contract with incentives versus a vet minimum in the NBA.
Right. He was like, they offered me everything that I wanted or something like that.
Which
I was
is
like, come
insane
on, bro.
because the numbers came out and he's making like $4 million. Like it's like a $4 million like 2-year deal or something like that. It's basically a vet minimum,
Right.
just not in the NBA. So I wonder what the incentives are because he did say they gave him everything he wanted, and he was like, "We're making history." What history are you? Pat Bev, the first player to ever play in Israel? Like, no, bro, you're not making any history.
He is the first Patrick Beverly to play for Israel. That is the history.
Yeah, that's the history. And of course, all the next 4 years are mine. Memes came out.
Dang, I can't find it. But I know he's hooping in somewhere, not in the NBA anymore. I just thought I'd bring that up.
No, it is actually insane how randomly it happened too.
Right. Because we were also talking about, I don't remember if it was all three of us or if it was the episode me and Vaughn were talking about, but you know how on his podcast he was like talking crazy about something, and then all the other stuff that was happening to him in the NBA, we were like, is the team really gonna pick him up? And clearly that did not happen. So
yeah. And it's insane.
It was about the time in his career where he would be playing overseas. He's like, what, 34, 35? Like, he's had a pretty long career. He started, I think, overseas.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of makes sense, especially in the Bucks. Like, I think people were expecting, like, a Timberwolves turnaround. His effect was going to really help their defense, and that just did not happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think his values just dropped down.
Crazy how much he's bragging about it, though. I mean, gotta give it up to him, bro. Even at his lowest, he still has so much pride.
It's been a good run.
Yeah, for sure. All right. And then lastly, before we get into the surprise and then the main topic, the NBA Cup draw has officially came out, that's the first thing we need to mention. It's officially called the NBA Cup instead of the NBA in-season tournament. It's also sponsored by Emirates, which is actually kind of insane that they got a sponsor like that. It's still not interconference. It's still by East versus West, which I kind of hate, but whatever. So 8 teams advancing out of the groups, of course, into the knockout rounds, the semifinals, and championship held in Vegas. It starts the 12th, and then it ends December 7th. It starts the 12th of November and ends the 17th of December. West A is Minnesota, the Clippers, the Sacramento Kings, Houston Rockets, and Portland Trailblazers. West B is the Thunder, the Suns, the Lakers, the Jazz, and the Spurs. West C is Nuggets, Mavs, Pelicans, Warriors, and Grizzlies. Do you want to talk about the West groups first, or you want to just talk about the East and talk about both?
Either one. I'm not really
Yeah.
tripping.
All right, I'll just go to East then. Group A in the East are the Knicks, Magic, Sixers, Nets, and Hornets. East B is Bucks, Pacers, Heat, Raptors, and Pistons. East C is Celtics, Cavs, Bulls, Hawks, Wizards. What is the weakest group and what is the group of death in your opinion?
That Celtics group, they're cruising, bro.
Yeah.
They,
East
the
C is
Cavs,
the
that's it.
weakest by far. But although I will say all of the East like is like kind of weak, like the groups.
Yeah.
Because like the Knicks will probably have a walk in the park if we're really being on it. Never mind. Because the Sixers been stacking. It's really just gonna come down to coaching. You know what I mean? Like the Sixers have been signing everyone, literally everyone. So I'm not going to say it's a walk in the park, but it's going to come down to the coaching. If the coaching is good, then it might turn out pretty good. East B, it's just the Pistons and the Raptors are just terrible. So it's just going to be up to the Bucks, Pacers, and Heat. West, the West weakest, I'm going to say is B. Hot take.
I low-key think it's A. Because you gotta remember the Clippers, the Blazers, and the Rockets. Like the Clippers are weaker now. The Rockets were a letdown, and then the Blazers are still a young ish team. The only good teams are the T-Wolves and the Kings. Whereas B has at least the Thunder, Suns, and Lakers, and Wemby and the Spurs. With Chris Paul.
I'm not a believer in the Spurs, bruh. Even with Chris Paul and Popovich, those are two head coaches. And then you got the Jazz. Who do they have?
Yeah, they really have nobody.
And then I'm not a believer in the Suns. So hot take, I'm gonna say weakest is West B, but although I do kind of agree with the points that you made about West A, because obviously the Trailblazers aren't going to do nothing, Rockets aren't going to do nothing, and the Clippers got significantly weaker. And the Kings actually signed DeMar DeRozan. So
that's right.
Yeah,
love that signing, bro. I love that shit.
Yeah,
I'm so glad he's not a Clipper or a Laker. Because that's what everyone was saying. He was going to go back to one of the LA teams, and then he went to Sacramento, and I'm like,
he said, psych.
Let's fucking go, dude. All right. I think the strongest group, no matter what conference, is obviously West C, right?
Yeah, it's hell down there.
That's group of death.
That's the group of death right there. It's gonna be, especially with the Clay signing, because this was before the Clay signing that this came out. So I'm really hoping that everyone just stays healthy, at least for the in-season games.
Yeah, because that's
everything else, I don't care. But
bro, especially because you look at it, you're like, oh, but the Grizzlies were bad last season. They're gonna have John Moran again, bro.
Bro, they weren't bad. They were plagued with injuries. Everyone on that team was hurt. People forget, bro. So that's really the group of death, even though the Grizzlies were terrible last season. But they weren't terrible because they were bad. They were terrible because they had no players playing. They had G League players playing their games in the NBA.
Yeah.
Bro.
It's funny though how the two C's are so different. EC is the weakest group of both conferences, and West C is the group of death. Okay, and of course, even though it's impossible to predict who's winning it this year.
Hey, we going back to back, bro. We going back to back, bro. I'm calling it. That'll be my board prediction. Lakers back to back.
Already, first episode of season 3, and we got a board prediction. Let's go.
Lakers NBA Cup winners back to back.
Strong as everyone's healthy. Early prediction. I'm gonna say the Knicks, only because they're retooled. The Villanova boy, they're reunited to start off the season. It's gonna be pretty early in the season. I think they're gonna be hungry to just show out, So especially on MSG, they want to bring something back.
Right.
And what a good way to start than bringing the NBA Cup home, So I got
That'd be crazy.
I think the Sixers could. I'm not gonna lie. I think they could, assuming they stay healthy. Joel Embiid hasn't had any significant injuries as of late. Paul George is gonna do what he does. What's bro's name? I'm blanking. The point guard.
Maxey.
Yeah, Tyrese. He's gonna do what he does. They just are gonna need everyone else to do what they need to do in order to win. I really do think the Sixers could go far just in general this season. But it comes down to coaching. So
we'll see. We'll see, bro. I'm gonna say something using math and logic. I think Kings are gonna win it all because they're gonna finish second in their group, but they're still better than most of B and just as good as most of C. So I think they have a chance to win it all. Especially, I don't want to jinx it, but especially with DeMar DeRozan, they can be scary this year.
Right.
We also got
De'Aaron Fox, who's a slasher. DeMar DeRozan, mid-range god. You got Sabonis on the block. Who's on the other block? Who's their small forward and what does Sabonis even play?
Keegan Murray.
Keegan Murray will play forward. Sabonis does play center. On the Kings, I know on the Pacers he used to play power forward.
Right.
So he can do that, but I don't think he really does that in Sacramento.
Yeah, Keegan Murray's the other forward. I think it was Harrison Barnes who before.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know who's gonna be now. They got rid of him.
Right. My whole point is they got a perfectly made team, and with the coach that Mike Brown has proven to be these past 2 seasons, anything is possible for the Kings.
Plus, they got Malik Monk still.
Yep, re-sign him.
I think the only issue is defense. Defense is going to rely on Keegan Murray a lot. And that's a lot for a third year. But, we'll see. Also, I was going to say something. DeRozan and Fox, those are clutch player nominees twice now.
Mm-hmm.
Their fourth quarter is scary when you're against the Kings now. One of them is going to score a game winner on you. You got 2 people to worry about now. I don't know. We also got to point out the fact that we've had underdogs now. The NBA Cup, the Pacers went all the way to the finals.
Right.
Who do you expect to be who's your dark horse? Who are you like? You might think they're not going to do good, but they are.
Bro, I really want to say the Grizzlies.
Oh, true.
That's a good one.
I really want to say the Grizzlies.
That's a really good one. I'm going to say the Magic. I think the Magic could be scary. I think they can pull an upset and sneak their way into the knockout stages.
My delusional pick for this NBA Cup winner is the San Antonio Spurs. Chris Paul ain't gonna get a ring. He can win himself an NBA Cup though.
That'd be fire, bro. Can you imagine the memes?
It actually would be funny though. It actually would be.
There's always a team that's hot in the beginning of the season. Last year, I think it was the Jazz. I think it's this Spurs team. No, I won't say anything about the later half of the season, but first 30 games, I'll give it to the Spurs.
All right. That's the NBA Cup, small segment, but we have a lot to get into. The surprise is the hot seat is back. If you're new to the show, the hot seat is something we do every offseason to, kind of keep it interesting still while there's not that much NBA news. They don't ever know what it is. And this year, the hot seat, I want to make it hard on you guys. Something that's actually impossible to predict. Summer League MVP. Who is it gonna be? Who's your Summer League MVP? Vaughn has Kyle
The
Kuzma,
GOAT
the GOAT,
of Summer
Summer
League.
League.
Even though it should have been Lonzo, but whatever.
No, it's actually not. My actual hot seat question is: do you think Summer League MVP matters at all, or do you think it's just an award that they give out just to make it more meaningful?
Means as much as I don't know, a Hershey's bar. Like, what is the value in that? It'll look cool on the shelf for whoever wins it, but I don't think it's very good for determining who's going to even be a good NBA player.
I don't think it determines anything.
Yeah, it's just like who had a good run. That's about it.
Right. It's. I mean, like you just said, Vaughn. Like, it's cool for the player to win. But I don't know. To me, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't determine how good or bad a player is going to be. Wemby played what? 2 games in the Summer League last year, and he won Rookie of the Year. That might be, a little, what's the word? Like, that might not count because, that's a generational player. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it really means anything. I pulled up a list of the past recipients. If you just want me to list off some.
Yeah, I'm looking too.
Yeah.
Cam Thomas? That's crazy. I didn't know he was Summer League MVP.
Like, you had Keegan Murray, Davion Mitchell, Josh Hart, Lonzo, Kyle Anderson, Jonas Valanciunas.
That's actually
Okay.
insane.
Now 3 years in a row, 2009 through 2012, you had Blake Griffin, John Wall, Damian Lillard, who ended up all being great players. But like everyone else, Nate Robinson, Randy Foye, who is that? Who is Randy Foye? Like, you got you got actually a lot of notable players on the list, but it definitely doesn't determine how well their career is going to end up or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because one thing I noticed that the Summer League MVPs, I don't think a single one of them was actual MVP.
Right.
And then most of them are like role players now, like Cam Thomas, Brandon Clark, Lonzo Ball. Like, they're notable players, but they're not like stars. Except for the 3 years where it happened to be John Wall, Blake Griffin, and Damian Lillard.
Right.
So I think you got it right. I think it is like, it's cool, to just like be like, oh, okay, he won Summer League MVP. But I'm not like, oh, he's Summer League MVP. Let me place $500 for him to be Rookie of the Year. Like, I'm not doing that.
Even as like an NBA player, it's probably cool when you're like young and you get that, but like 3 years in and you're staring at an empty shelf with only the Summer League MVP on it, it's probably a little more sad as time goes on.
It'll be talking to you
want
like
some,
Green Goblin mask.
you want something else, be it like Defensive Player of the Year or NBA champion,
Yeah, for sure. Well, the reason why that was our hot seat question is because today is our also popular prospect episode where we have one first round, one second round guy, and if we have time, we will talk about our team's actual picks, but that's kind of up for grabs if we will or not. So, who wants to go first?
I can go first. For me, I had to take into consideration team needs. The Bulls, they need anything. DeMar's gone. They can't get rid of LaVine. They need to get rid of LaVine. They can't. So they're looking to the future, and they got Modest Buzelis with the 11th overall pick.
Who? No, I'm kidding.
It's another Lithuanian player, so I guess a good history there. Not that it means anything. But Bulls power forward, looking very good in summer league, 20 points a game. Already got a poster to his name. I don't know if you've seen that, but that was pretty nasty. So he's already looking confident, which I think was the issue with a guy like Patrick Williams, is he was kind of looked skittish, and it's been years out there of him just looking kind of skittish as an NBA player. He's 19, and he's already ready to just dunk on guys' heads. He's ready to be aggressive, and he's pretty decent at shooting too. So lots of bright sparks for the Bulls. Not to mention, he's 19. A lot of 19-year-olds don't really get playing time in the NBA. He needs it. He needs playing time in the NBA as the Bulls, where you have to lose. Like, I'm not saying rookie of the year, but I'm saying maybe top 5 in voting. He's just a bright spot for a organization that's been, I don't want to say defunct, but they've been in no man's land for a while. He could lead the way, hopefully. So that's why I picked him.
My first round pick, the Spurs drafted him at number 8, but then later traded him to the Wolves. I'm going Rob Dillingham. That boy is a straight hooper, bro. He's been quiet in the summer league, but just because you're quiet in the summer league doesn't mean you're gonna be bad in the league. They do have another dude. What's his name? Terrence Shannon Jr. They both definitely could get guaranteed contracts. I think it'll come down to like a Lakers situation. Who better fits their system. Lakers situation as in Mac McClung and Austin Reeves. But Terrence Shannon has definitely had the better summer league, but I think Rob is the better. I think he would be the better player because it would be Ant and then him probably at the shooting guard. And they would be a very scary duo, assuming Rob progresses the way he's supposed to. I like him. I think he was the sleeper, even though he was a lottery pick. The Spurs might have messed up on that one.
I don't
I
know,
thought a
bro.
lot of people were saying, like Dillingham is probably the future point guard of the Timberwolves, considering Mike Conley is getting up there in age. So if you have Mike Conley able to mentor him, that just spells success for him as a NBA career. And then who is the other guy? Shooting guard. Also could be a very good piece off the bench. I know guys like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Kyle Anderson have been like the go-to guys off the bench, but they're not the greatest shooters. They just play hard defense. And like you got a guy at point guard who could run the offense, and you got a guy at shooting guard who could be a reliable scorer. So really great pickups from the Timberwolves in general.
No, for real. I'm basically a free lottery pick.
Yeah.
My first round pick is also a Spurs pick, but they kept this guy, Stephon Castle. UConn got that championship pedigree. I honestly think the biggest reason why the Spurs fumbled the ball with trading the other guard is because you could have had 2 guards be mentored by Chris Paul. Like, that's 2 like guards being molded by one of the, if not, some people say the best one guard in the NBA. Like, I like him because I think honestly the Spurs just need a pass first guy. And even though he wasn't necessarily that in college or high school, I think he's gonna have to be that in the NBA if he wants to get minutes. He has the ability to include everyone in the offense. I think his biggest weakness though is he cannot shoot from the 3. It's pretty streaky, but I don't know. I honestly think as long as he continues to get people involved, he might be nice for the Spurs, especially because, like I said, Chris Paul as a mentor, like all just like honestly, just pick his brain. Like
Mhm.
I just like the fact that he is actually a step forward for the Spurs because they need a guy who can pass and get everyone involved. So
Mhm.
that way it won't be someone to abuse the fuck out of Wemby.
He's definitely I think he's definitely a player that the Spurs, look for and thrive to get because he's, at least based on his play style, from what I've seen, he's definitely a team oriented player. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah, and that's why I picked him because I think that's what the Spurs need.
Even without the shooting, I think he had like 22 in his first summer league game. So like he knows how to score.
Mhm.
Just a matter
Oh
of
yeah,
getting up on par.
oh yeah. I didn't bring that up because I wanted to use the whole get it to get the team involved. But he played like 3 games so far in the summer, and he's already averaging like 17 points.
Mhm.
Like I know that doesn't mean that much sometimes, but like it's good to see that he like even without the 3-point shot, he could still like get his points.
Right.
All right. Second round. Who wants to kick us off?
I have been excited about this one because the Thunder, we all know Thunder got draft picks for days, and they
Yeah.
don't miss. They don't miss. They selected AJ Mitchell with the 38th overall pick. He's a 22-year-old from I can't remember where he's from, but 6'5" point guard, defensive minded. I've seen clips of him where he's a hound on defense, and he knows how to score. He's scoring 18 points per game in the summer league right now with 2 steals a game. So like, I know they traded Terrence Mann, I think it was, for Gordon Hayward, or no, Trey Mann, sorry. So that was their backup guard gone basically. Josh Giddey is gone. This guy is going to slide perfectly in there. He's 22, which means he spent like 3 or 4 years in college. So he has a lot of experience versus like a 19-year-old coming in the league. So he already is aware of, at least on a basketball IQ level, of what he's meant to play. And I think Thunder picked perfectly, especially for 38.
Mhm.
Couldn't, like, I don't know how they keep getting away with this. All these good selections.
Yeah, he came from UCSB, UC Santa Barbara. I don't know much about him, but it is impressive to see that he came from that school specifically because there's not many UCSB NBA products. So he's definitely got to be pretty good, um, to get drafted. So that should, at least the way you were speaking about him, should be good for the Thunder.
Yeah, true. I mean, someone's got to like start stealing their scouts because the Thunder are too good at scouting people, bro.
Them and the Spurs, bruh.
No, for real.
Speaking of, so my second round pick, also the Spurs picked, then later traded, came out of Kansas, KU, white boy, Johnny Furphy.
That
Young
is a white boy ass name, bro. That's Johnny Furphy.
Johnny Furphy. I actually first came across him in college basketball this past season. And I think, was he a true freshman? I don't know, but he's a young dude. Hooper, straight hooper. I think he averaged like 20. Could be wrong. I haven't seen him play in summer league. I don't know if the Pacers have played summer league games yet, but I think also kind of like Rob, if he progresses well, I think he could slide, at least as a bench player for the Pacers. I think he can slide right like into the system with the Pacers because he's a shooter, literally a straight shooter, can spread the floor, shoot from every level on the floor. Just needs to be consistent, put in that work. I think he'll do great things for the Pacers, assuming he works his way up. But he's a really good player. He just needs to work on his defense a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, a 6'8" guy who can shoot, like, he's gonna get playing time.
Mm.
Like that's all he needs to do, really.
Especially like if you got Halliburton feeding you, it's just everything's easy.
Yeah,
He'll probably flourish in his role.
Yeah, he was a freshman. He was a one and done.
that's crazy. One and done second round.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky, bro. That's kind of got mad lucky there. All right. I'm not gonna lie. This draft class, I was sleeping. But my second round pick is always my forced Colorado draft pick. I always got to get one in. That's KJ Simpson, drafted by the Hornets, 42nd. Smaller guy though. He's only 6 feet, guard. But I think the reason why I like him is he has the ability to improve. I mean, he was a junior when he got drafted, and every year his stats like went up every single year. So obviously has the ability to improve. The only downside is he's honestly really, really good on offense. Like he can score and he can get like pass, he can assist. His defense is probably like the bare minimum though. Like it's not bad, but it's not good. You won't really sit there and be like, oh, he's a lockdown defender. He's not you would say he's not someone you would go at, but he's also not someone like that you're trying to stay away from. It's kind of like up and down. I think the best way I can explain it is like Luka. Like some days Luka's like just clamping people up, and other days Luka's low key just getting blown by. Like that's the best comparison. That's kind of how he is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I honestly think with the Hornets, I honestly don't know if he'll get that much playing time because he is undersized. But I kind of have hopes that he will like just improve because he's done it before. And as long as the Hornets give him a chance, I think he could do something low key.
Well, 6-foot guard on the Hornets doesn't play defense very well. Doesn't sound the most alluring, but he was a second rounder. It's not like he has high expectations. And you said he improves every year. Bro, I'm a fan of short guards that have crazy offensive games ever since Isaiah Thomas. So
yeah,
I would like to see him succeed. What do the Hornets really need right now? Anything, besides LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball cannot stay healthy, and the rest of the cast is just it's tough to watch sometimes. So.
Yeah.
Any bright spots for the Hornets is a good thing.
Right. I just want to see the Hornets win. You know what I mean? So
it's been
hopefully this is one step towards that.
I think I just got to get my Colorado pick in there mostly, bro. I mean, also I'm not like more so guys who are undersized and just have good offense. I'm more so like I like guys who always just like constantly get better. Like I'm a sucker for like that's why I like shonen anime because like that's what they do. They just like always get better every season. That's what I like about like that's my favorite type of athlete. Like Jokic just gets better. Jamal Murray, like those are like just people who get better are just so fun to watch, bro. Like Russ when KD left, just somehow got better. Like
right.
It's just a fun type of player to watch. All right. Any honorable mentions? Someone you wanted to pick, but you just couldn't before we get into our team?
I don't really. I thought this draft class, as producing stars was really weak. Like
Mm,
even the top picks, I have a hard time seeing them as becoming stars on their teams.
yeah.
Right.
This was
Specifically,
kind of
Alex Sarr.
bro.
I knew it was gonna be brought up eventually.
Bronny James wasn't in this class, he would be getting shit on so hard right now. If
Mhm.
Alex Sarr, because how do you have a 0 point game and you're 7 feet tall
And it's
in
the
a
summer league. He put up a thon maker stat line, bro. That's actually insane.
Bro, getting cardio in summer league strictly.
Yeah, I knew it'd be brought up eventually. I was trying so hard not to be the one to bring it up, but yeah,
Bro,
that's actually.
I mean, like, I don't even know who bro is. Like the top 3 picks. Wait, let me fact check myself before I say this. The top 3 picks. Like, I don't even know who Reed Shepherd is, but he's been hooping for the Rockets. Like, I'm not gonna lie. But have the Hawks played yet?
Mhm.
They have.
Yes.
What has he done?
That's a good question.
But he wasn't a great game, but at least it wasn't 0 points. It
I
doesn't
mean,
help.
like I said,
Risache and Sar are both from France, so we never got to see him play college. So
Right.
that's why this is a big question mark.
right. Because it's like I said before about Wemby too. Or even just like the whole MVP talk that we had. You can do ass in summer league and still be a great player. So it's really summer league isn't an indicator of how a player is gonna do for the most part. But I don't know. I just haven't heard. I literally have not heard anything of the number 1 pick. So that's why I was wondering.
Yeah, I also haven't heard much. Like, I heard more about SAR, like 0 point like game than I have heard about like the number 1 pick in general, which is actually kind of insane. Okay, well, what about our teams? Are you excited about your team's draft picks at all?
Bronny. That's all I gotta say. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. Not Bronny. I'm actually really excited about our first pick, Dalton Knecht. I think that's how you pronounce his name.
I think it's Knight. It's
Knight?
spelled weird, but you pronounce it Knight.
Dalton Knight. Really good player. Really good shooter. Consistent. Can create a shot however he wants, off the ball, on the ball, off the dribble. And I mean, he had 3 steals one game that I remember. So I'm kind of hoping he turns into Austin Reeves 2.0.
Oh,
Why
for
are
real.
you
Like,
Reeves?
okay, Alex Caruso, Austin Reeves, Dalton Knight. It's a pattern going on here.
We getting the white boy 2 ways, bro. The 2-way white
You
boy.
really are. You really are, bro.
Nah, but I'm actually really excited to see how he translates in the league, though.
Yeah.
Whether that's on the Lakers or not, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, Torian Prince is gone, right? He could just slide in right there, you know?
True.
Could be.
I mean, that's the one thing I got. Like, even though they lose their rookies, they do play them. Like, they actually do like try to play them. So it's gonna be exciting to see him get some time. The Ronnie stuff. I mean, it's already overplayed. Like, not just the love, but also the hate. Like, I'm already sick of it. Like, I will say this though, out of like the little Bronny clips I've seen and like chosen to watch and not forced upon, like it does seem like he's already getting better. Like, which is kind of crazy how fast he's already getting used to like the speed, but it is summer league.
Right.
So we'll see.
Like, he is trying. Like, it's not that he's not trying. You know what I mean? So I like that he's putting in the effort
Mhm.
and he's trying to show everyone that he's ready for NBA basketball. But everyone knows he's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like his highlights early on were like layups. It was like you don't really get highlight layups like that. They're basic layups. But as you said, he is already improving. Like first 2 games, I think it was 0 for 15 from 3-point range. Game 3, 12 points, hit 2 threes. So
Yeah.
he's already finding some sort of rhythm, but he just got to find his consistency.
Yeah. Gotta hit the gym. What about you, Vaughn? How you feeling about your Celtics picks?
We probably won't play him. But he could be a good NBA player. He's on the older side. I think he's 23. He's a forward. Baylor Shireman, pick 30 overall. He did have a good summer league game, I think, in his debut, 20 points, and then he was hitting threes pretty nice too. So he's got a good stride. He's a pretty intelligent player. So I think they wanted a Peyton Pritchard situation where like Peyton Pritchard was picked, I think when he was 22, 23. So he's a lot of experience in college. So they wanted someone who was ready to step up to the plate if asked to. I don't think our roster really needs that necessarily, but it is nice to have in the back pocket.
Yeah.
I don't mind them. I think we could have done a lot worse, but so I'm not mad at this pick at all. Like we got Sam Hauser. I think he was undrafted, and now he was a great rotational shooter for the championship team. So there's a lot of bright spots in the young guys, especially last year. Jordan Walsh had a good summer league. Didn't really get minutes because like there's no real place for him. So if they don't get a role on the Celtics, I do hope these guys at least have an NBA career afterwards.
I think Baylor could get a contract with the Celtics because like nobody, at least not to my knowledge, nobody hates Creighton players. Like Creighton is always good for, you know, whatever reason. I don't know if it's they choose the good recruits or if they choose the underdog recruits and they, you know, progress really well. But I think he could end up like a Peyton Pritchard in his own way. You know what I mean? Like Peyton Pritchard is more defensive minded. Meanwhile, Baylor is more kind of like shooting. You know what I mean? Everyone has their own role. And I think, you know, if he came off the bench, he could add that little 3-point spark. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like they got hyper specific role. Like Peyton Pritchard, they literally give him the ball at the end of a quarter every single time, just at the chance of him hitting a buzzer beater. So if he's got a hyper specific role on this team, that's fine by me.
All right. My team only one rookie as well. We actually traded them, like the Suns picked him, and then we traded our pick. So our rookie is Darren Holmes the second, also kind of older, 21, junior out of Dayton. But the bright side, he's a center. He's a smaller center. He's only 6'9", but he's a center.
Oh, so y'all got a Kevon Looney.
Yeah, we got a Kevon Looney. Pretty much, bro. He's literally like a pick and roll guy. Like that's like his best, like the best part of his game is like he like is really good at pick and roll. So I like that's good. It's,
if he could turn up like a Bam, you know what I mean? Undersized center could be good for y'all.
No, I'm just happy as a center, to be honest. Like I'm just happy it's a center. Especially I know people hate on people who are like on centers who are only good at the pick and roll, but like, come on. Like that's a vital like nowadays, like a center who's always gonna finish. Like, come on, like I know you hate it, but it's a vital skill set.
It's a basic fundamental that you know every center needs to know.
And surprisingly, not every center does. So I'm just happy that like we have one and he excels at something, because we have done this before where we drafted a center, but like they were just mid as hell. And like the only good thing about them was they were a center. And he's also athletic as hell. That's another thing. Because of course he's undersized. So he's like a lob threat. He's scary around just around the rim on defense and offense, he's scary. Which is like almost, I want to say the opposite of Jokic, but like Jokic somehow gets it done still in his own kind of way. But like it's still like nice to have, like it feels like he's the perfect backup. I just hope and pray that we actually use him, because there is a downside, and that it's like he's good at the pick and roll and he's good around the rim, but that's about it.
Hey, well, Mike Malone and rookies.
Yeah.
Why play this guy if I have DeAndre Jordan I can play right now? It's just like, come on, Mike. Like, need some sort of like reinvigoration to like the bench squad. So
Yeah. I think I just honestly undersized, scary around the rim, can guard every position. It's like my dream come true. It's our backup center. It's just really like, will his downsides make Malone, because he's already a rookie. That's strike one. And then he also has like a good amount of downsides, strike two. If he says something or just like doesn't run as hard, he's not getting any playing time, bro.
He's staying in the G League.
No, for real. Yeah, no, the Bones Highland treatment. I'm gonna love him, but Malone's not gonna love him. And next thing I know, he's gonna be out of here. All right, I'm pretty sure that's all we have. It is the off season, so most of our topics are pre-planned. We actually have a lot of topics slated in the works because it's been a while. And we've just been like, this week we'll do this, and we're like, oh, we can't. So next week, I think next week we're gonna be ranking every season from the past 10 years. I think I might even push it to like maybe even 2012, 2011, might even go as far as 2010. Who knows? But for sure, 2024 to at least 2014, we're gonna rank them all and see which ones are the best and which ones we're like is mid as hell. And we're also taking into fact postseason maybe. So you might want to stick around.
So like the whole season.
Literally. Yeah. So gonna be interesting, So make sure you tune in next week for that. If you are listening on Spotify or any podcast platform, we are at there. Fuck me. If you're listening on any podcast platform, we are on it at Spin the Rock. So make sure you give us that good old 5 stars. Leave a review. Let us know which rookie you like and which rookies you don't. We're on YouTube for that video format, so make sure you like and subscribe there. And we're also on all social media platforms at Spin the Rock. So make sure you check us out there for clips and episode updates. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you again next week.